What's up there, guys? Welcome back to Detecting. It's an exciting picture perfect day today, not a cloud in the sky, and we're out here in the paddock. We are looking for an old house site, what I've found on the map, and I suspect it's an old house site. I might be wrong, but we are just basically going for a bit of a wander today to check it out. We've got the Equinox 900 in hand. We've also got the Tiger XL stainless steel shovel. We also have to cross under this fence. And not only that, we also have a little bit of a friend today, a little buddy, first time on film. He's a little chocolate cocker spaniel, and just picked him up there a couple of weeks ago. He's 11 weeks old, and he's trekking through the grass with me. The grass is taller than him. He's trekking through the grass with me, and he's coming out on his first detecting session today. He's going to love it. I'm going to tire him out. So we'll get under this fence, and where I suspect the old house site used to be, is somewhere up sort of not too far away from those cows, almost near that windmill sticking up. If you can just see it, you are saturated and you got grass on your face. Oh dear, look how wet he is. Wet as a shag you are. Now don't touch the fence. We're going to crawl under here, get in that next paddock and go over, as I said, start the detector and hopefully find an old house site and find some cool stuff to go with it. Let's go. What do you reckon? Stop chewing on me bag. Oh, it's funny, you know, I've only just walked into this paddock, I crossed under the fence there, and already starting to see signs of bricks. A couple of bits of glass too, but lots of bricks. I can spot them all over. Well, not right now, I can't, but I could as I was walking in here. There's two half bricks just there. So I suspect the house site was a little bit further over, as I said, near that windmill, but I'm going to turn the detector on right here. Because like I've sort of stated in my book, what are you doing, mate? Don't eat cow poo, don't roll in it either. As I stated in my book there, the one I've just released, talking about metal detecting tips and tricks. Basically, the old bricks, you know, glass, fruit trees, anything that's not native or natural, it is a dead giveaway. It really is. So the bricks may have been pulled up here with the plough over the years with the tractor, but just seeing them on the surface there and so many grouped together, we're going to try our luck right here to begin with. So just done a noise cancel, quick ground balance, volume is on 25, threshold is set to 0, target tone on 5 tones, except reject. Now from memory we're digging from about everything from about 38 or 40 all the way through to 99. We'll just check that quickly. See what we're running for today, buddy. He's so cool. 37 upwards we're digging, and recovery speed set on 8, and iron bias, if we hold the setting buttons, iron bias is set to 0 and not masking any targets in amongst the rust. So we'll go back to the start there. We'll just check our sensitivity. Sensitivity is on 25. I said a couple of bricks around this area. The grass is a lot lower, which is nice. Don't eat that. And we will try and just hum around here. Look, there's another 2 bricks right there. One there and one in front of me there. So we'll just hum around here, see if we can pick up any metal targets. I will be putting all metal mode in as well, just so I can hear what's going on. And we're going to give it a bit of a run, and we will be heading over towards that windmill, because as I said, that's where I suspect the house site to be. Let's just see what we can find here first. Oh, this should be interesting. Buddy, have you upset the cows? Look at him running towards me. Help! Help, Dad! Ah, very friendly. All heifers by the looks. They are, all young heifers. And they're looking at you, buddy. Looks like they want to eat you. Ugh. Everybody meet Buddy. Buddy meet cows. Everybody. Go away. You are bloody friendly, aren't you? Don't eat me, detector. Don't eat me, detector. Being surrounded by a mob. Alright, we'll just keep going, and we might hold on to Buddy for a minute, because he's probably never seen a cow. He might get scared. Look how friendly they are. Hello. Hello. Don't eat me, detector. Cow kiss dog. Hello. Alright, let's keep going. Crazy. Rightio, well, we're getting through a few targets here. There is plenty of rubbish in the ground. That's the next item that we just dug out. Looks like a handle or a lever of something. A bit of a mechanism at the front there. What do you reckon, buddy? Yeah, you chew on that one. You chew on everything. The cows have sort of left us alone too. They're very inquisitive animals, cows, but as soon as they've sort of sussed you out, they sort of wander off and disappear. I think they're more interested in the dog than me. We have, I'll just show you. Whoa, calm down, guy. We have just sort of come from this hill here, and so many targets on this hill, and you're not going to build a house on the bank of the hill there. What I suspect's happening, I'm watching you, what I suspect's happening is the farmer's been coming and dumping a lot of rubbish off over on this hillside, because there's bottle tops and pull tabs and beer cans and look, stuff from the 70s. You can see the triangle top, you know, soda cans, beer cans. So stuff from the 70s, but there's also a bit of newer stuff as well. Would you go away, 28882? He's so friendly. Buddy's staying right near me too. I think he's a little bit intimidated by the cows, but if I was his size, I would be too. So we'll just keep going. I said a lot of rubbish, and behind me on that hill bit, that's not where I suspect the house was. I suspect the house was sort of in front of me, but then looking at the lay of the land, I just sort of don't see it. I'm not seeing it. But anyway, we'll continue on. Just trial and error. You just never know what's here. As soon as a coin pops out of something of age, it just shows, or it proves my theory that there was a house here. And I'm only going off an old black and white map, so it's nothing spectacular. It's nothing you know, properly accurate. But it has led me onto a lot of old cool house sites in the past. So anyway, let's keep going, 28882, see what we can find. Alright, well, just what we were saying there, keep going and see what we can find. We're just about 10 metres that way, and we got out the old lever handle, plus a bottle top. What are you doing, mate? And look, not any further than 10 metres forward. Look at what we've just got. Lovely old brooch. What do you reckon, guys? Yep, come in for a closer look. Come on. Actually get it out in the sun, that'll be better. Oh, look at that. It's got a really nice pattern design on it. Old brass piece. It's got screw thread on the back. Work out how to talk properly in a minute. That's a really nice piece. Lovely. So look, as I said, the old map, it's grainy, it's black and white. You want to have a look, do you? It's grainy, it's black and white, but you know, it does indicate driveways, tree lines, you know, old houses, old sheds, you know, rooftops. You know, you can see everything else is like, it's all black and white, but everything's black, you know, the grass and the bush and different shades of black. And then you might see a little white, you know, square white outline. That would be the top of a house or a shed. And then bingo, if you can see a driveway leading back to a main road, well, you're onto something. And didn't exactly see a driveway. I mean, the main road skirts around us outside of those trees there. Didn't exactly see a driveway from this point here where I'm standing leading back to the main road, but that's not to say that there still wasn't a house here. And bingo, unless this has been dumped here, which I doubt, and the bricks, which I doubt, they're all coming from the old house site. In actual fact, there was another bit of metal up here. I don't know how much I trust those cows. Buddy, come here. Buddy, here. Yeah, look how interested they are in him. Like, we will eat you if we can. There's this big, scrappy, chunky piece of metal here. Now, I don't know what it was off. Maybe a door. It looks like it hinged at that end and pivoted on something. But look, a couple of bricks there straight away as well. Bits of glass that we've seen on the surface. We don't need him in the paddock. And we're just going to continue plodding along. And I'm certain there's going to be a coin back here somewhere. Once we move these cows, go, move, get out. Go on. Come on, buddy, you're going to get cut off. Look out. Dog on the loose. He's wagging his tail, he's happy. I've noticed he's sticking really close by me today though. My little mate, aren't you? A lot has changed in the last 6 months, as some people will be aware of and know. And well, Buddy, well, he's part of the new change. And there's plenty more change to explain, and we'll get there as we go throughout our videos. But yeah, last 6 months, like, obviously a lot has happened. So I've just sort of been putting my life back together, and well, loving it. So what do you reckon, mate? Yeah, you're pretty cute, aren't you? All right, let's keep going, and let's snag that coin. Go away, cows. Get 'em, buddy. All right, well, like I always say, it's always the ones that you don't film turn out to be something that you probably should have filmed. This one rang up at a 98.99. Incredible piece. Don't exactly know what it says just yet. It's got writing all the way on the outside there. Royal, automobile, something. I reckon it's a hood ornament. Was a hood ornament. What an amazing piece. Let's try and get rid of all that dirt off it. Can you lick it? Buddy, give it a clean. Royal Automobile something Club of Victoria. What a fascinating piece. I've never ever found anything like this before. Do you mind? I can hear you weeing. Two of yous. Still got the crowd. Yeah, Royal Automobile Club of Victoria. And it's got some more writing on the back here. How exciting! That's what I think. I heard ya. Royal Automobile Club Association or Associate. What a spectacular piece. Amazing. So I imagine it was a hood ornament. Pity it's all bent over. That's a shame. Because it wouldn't have looked like that originally. You see you got the crown up the top there. I'm going to zoom in and give you a real good look. Royal Automobile Club of Victoria. On the back side it would have had something in the centre obviously. Royal Automobile once again bent over, hard to see. Club, I don't know how well you can see that. Club is there. Associate. Associate. Do you mind? You're so friendly. Too friendly. You're overbearingly friendly. Stop it. So yeah, really, really cool piece. And you wouldn't walk past something like that. I said 96, 97, 98, it was sort of hanging around. Real high number. And like it was a definite tone, you know. You swung back and forth. I'll just show you. Oh, scaredy cats. Sudden movements. Cows don't like it. Oh, it's doing funny signals now. In the ground it didn't sound like that. Well, it didn't sound like that in the ground. Isn't it funny how signals change? That's what it sounded like. Yeah, it's a lower tone down below the threaded bolt. Fascinating. Fascinating, fascinating piece. What do you reckon, buddy? Oi, you can fit your nose through there. Pretty cool. Awesome. I said, you just, a bit of research, you never know quite what you're going to find. So into the pouch you can go. We've sort of done a big circle. We've come from that hill. We've walked our way around the tree line here, and we're just sort of eagle-eyeing the area. My plan is to get over to that windmill because I can see something capped off, like an old tank. It might indicate an old house that was here. That could be an old well that's capped off. But where did the house sit? I don't really know. It certainly wouldn't have sat in the middle there. Maybe it did sit up on the hill here where we're standing with the cows right now. What do you want, 2901? Excla. Oh, they got names on them. Holly. Hello, Holly. Excla. I can't really see that one properly. Frederick. Prado. I like you. You're cool. Maybe it's Parbo. Alright, maybe it's Pablo. Let's keep going, buddy. See what else we can get. He just stepped in it. Look out of the way. Buddy just stepped in cow poo. There's his paw print there. Then he tried to eat some. Don't stand on me. See, this is what happens. Go wash your feet. No, don't do it again. Hop off. We've got another target here, 82, 83. Sounds good. Don't sit in it. Come over here. You're not getting in the car on the way home. Is this going to be a coin? No. It's an old shaver head. No, it's not really. Piece of metal. Scrap metal. And Buddy's covered in poo. On you, mate. Let's keep going. Alright, we've finally made it over to the well. So is all the cows. And it's actually not a well. Well then. That is an old septic pit by the looks of it. So probably your two inlets and your outlet, or your manhole cover to pump out. But I dare say, yeah, look, it's an old septic tank. There must have been a house here. And it must have sat up on those sort of flats. Like, it can't have sat down in the gully here. It just wouldn't have. It would have been flooded out. It gets very, very wet out here during the winter. So it would have been up on top of that hill behind the backs of the cows. It could have been up on top of that hill behind the backs of the other cows here. Buddy, don't go down those holes. But look, I honestly think with the amount of signals and targets, what have you, it was up around here. Everything sort of drops off in the midsection there. There's really no targets or signals. Don't you stick your hoofs down there either. It really should be covered over. But yeah, so we'll go back over this way. Have a bit more of a hunt behind the cows. They won't leave me alone. I think it's more Buddy that they're intrigued in than me. Normally, as I said, cows are inquisitive. They come over and say good day and then they just walk away. These guys just aren't leaving me alone. I said it's not me. It's you! And Buddy's sticking pretty close to my side. So let's keep going. Don't stick your hoofs down there. Jeez, you're close, man. Let's keep going and let's see what else we can get. Move out of the way. Go. Psh. Righto, Buddy. What do you reckon about this signal? Have a listen. You don't care, do you? I do. Sounds exactly like that car badge did. A little bit of a lower number, but nice, repeatable, definite back and forth signal. In really trashy areas too, that's really what I hunt. You got so much going on, pick the easiest stuff. Pick the repeatable back and forth tones. That's where you're going to really understand your site quickly. And then you can come back later and go after everything else. Oh, ground's got really hard up here too. And just behind me I dug a hole. Dale dug a hole, he did. And it was real, yeah, so this is like a real gravelly mix underneath. But behind me, it was like a real red clay. And it doesn't look natural. Just sort of on the side of that bank there behind this cow. Really, really thick red and white clay. Oh yeah, we got him. Oh, I was going to say it's a coin. Looks pretty big for a coin. It's a badge. How special is that? It's an Australian badge. If I turn him around the right way. Look at that. Exceptional. It's old enamel Australian badge. Dare say it would have been blue and red at one stage. Such a cool find. Maybe something on the back. He looked like a big penny to begin with. Just sitting there in the dirt there like that. What do you reckon? You're just licking my gloves. What do you reckon, mate? Hey? Big day out on the farm for you. Cows aren't scaring him either. He sort of tails off there for a while, wanders off, and all the cows sniff him. They look like they're going to eat him. They won't. I'm just worried they're going to step on him and break him because he's only so small, but he's still trailing behind me. Still loving life, aren't you? Hey? And loving the finds coming out, of course. Don't think he really cares. Anyway, that was awesome. As I said, just dig those, concentrate on those real repeatable back and forth signals. If it's sort of going one way with a nice signal and then back the other way with a drop down number, or the numbers increase or decrease dramatically and it sounds completely different one way compared to the other way, maybe just do a 180 or do a 90-degree turn on the signal, see if you can get it sharpen up. If not, move on and attack and chase those really clear, repeatable back and forth tones, exactly like that was. And that's where the good stuff's going to come out to begin with. Work the ground a bit further later. Let's keep going. Right, well, definitely a house here. We've just come across a little brass piece and I recognise it straight away. Try and get the dirt out of there. I don't think I can. Oh, it's coming. Nearly. 6 more taps. 10. Alright, so this little brass piece here, you can see how he's got a square in the centre there. That's what I was trying to tap all the dirt out to show you. But that there is basically your, internal bit of your door handle, I should say, that goes through the middle of your door. So every time you turn the door handle, and that square bit there has a square rod running through it, basically that turns like that. And it unlocks the latch of the door. Then you let it go and it turns back. And then once again, door handles twist anti-clockwise and clockwise. So that's what that is. I probably didn't do the great explanation there, but that is a little internal door locking mechanism piece, if you want to call it that. And that shows indication of a house site here. Next we'll find the door handle probably, or even one of the old escutcheon plate locks for the key to go in. So what are you doing? You're a wet dirty dog, aren't you? Well, puppy, you're only little. All right, let's keep going. And look, most of everything that I've found good, the Australian badge, the automotive badge, and even that door lock plate have been up on this hill. So that is where we're staying for this afternoon. I'm going to rip the jumper off in a minute, but I don't think I'll venture too much further. I'll just stay on the top of this hill where I suspect the house used to be. Keep plucking the finds. Well, another one just in front of the last one there, buddy. What are you doing, being the herdsman, are you? Keeping the cows in control. I don't really know how I missed it either, because I sort of scanned around this area, went back over towards the cows there, and then come back this way, and bingo, here it is. Sneaking up on you, you watch yourself. So we got 91, 93. I don't know who's scarier than who. Is the dog scared than the cows, or the cows scared of the dog? Beautiful target on this one. Once again, nice repeatable tone, 88 and a 90 I just seen on the screen there. Not very deep either. I'm just thinking in the back of my head, cow tags. Because there could very well be a cow tag out here. We haven't found a coin to really give a date to the area just yet, but look, it's showing that age, isn't it? Already what's coming out, the old Australian badge. I mean, that's got to be 1950s thereabouts. We've got nothing in this hole. Oh no, it's up a bit further. How did I miss that? The old Automotive Association Club. That's a cool old find. And what is this contraption? Little brass plug. I wasn't expecting that. I actually don't know what it is. Zoom in there. It's probably got thread on the inside. And he's got a bit of a cross-hatched design on the outside. So it looks like you twisted it maybe. Let's see if there's thread on the inside. Oh, there is toe. I was going to say there is so. There is two so. So thread on the inside, so you would have screwed it onto something. What? I have no idea. It's not a barrel blocker. Sometimes the old shotguns that have like barrel blockers for when you're putting them in storage. But certainly not one of those. Not with a screw on end. What do you reckon, buddy? You're too tired to care. Been a big day for you, haven't it? Only been out here for an hour, but you're only a little puppy. As I said, he's 11 weeks old, and we picked him up there, went away for some family holidays, and picked him up there whilst we were on holidays, the most recent school holidays that we had. And Dominic absolutely loves him, Oliver absolutely loves him, and Tennille, my partner, she absolutely loves him, Tennille does. And you guys haven't met Tennille and Oliver just yet, you will in future. I said lots of things have changed in the last 6 months, and well, for the better too. Most definitely for the better. Let's keep going. Alright, well, I should have filmed this one as well, buddy. We haven't even moved. You haven't even stopped chewing the grass that you were chewing before on the last clip. And next target, and I ID it straight away, I know what it is. Probably a lot of you guys do too. That is an old spigot tap handle. Maybe a keg tap. But I believe it's probably a spigot tap handle. ESBE tested. I wonder what ESBE stands for. Don't know. ESBE tested. Quite a thick one too. So it could have been a keg tap handle. I'd love to find the rest. And if it's out here in the paddock, it won't be hard to find either. These pieces absolutely scream. And keg tap handles, so he's probably around about an 80, 90. Yeah, 82. Keg tap handles. Well, that's a higher sound. Hang on. That's a 90. Oh, nearly 86. The keg taps themselves, I mean that's just a broken off piece of the handle, but the keg taps themselves, depending on how large they are, they absolutely scream. So it's out in this paddock. We're going to find it, buddy boy. Let's keep going. You couldn't make this stuff up some days, you really couldn't. Keg tap, broken off handle. What did I say, buddy? If the spigot tap's out here, we're surely going to find it. Why are you looking at me weird? Hey? You're having a lot of fun, aren't you? Lick the camera. Zip. Have a listen to this. 93, 94. Broken off a bit of the handle was there. 92, 93, 94. And let's see if we can get the handle piece out. How good am I? Can I find it? Haha. Come here, ESBE tested. And come and join your mate. Oh, no, maybe not. Oh, maybe. This one's got a square head on the top. Generally when you've got the square head, it indicates that the farmer would have had a little square handled tool or square headed tool. So, guess what? I don't think so. I don't think it's off that tap. You right there? Had enough of standing. The audience is slowly weaning away, but not this guy, 28882. What, 2882 I should say. He's just hanging around, he is. Yes, I hear you. Yeah, that's not it. Look at the break. So the farmer would have had a little tool with a square head, almost like a ring spanner, but just a one-ended ring spanner with a square head. And he would have come and turned this spigot tap off and on. So it would have been a house tap or beside a water tank, what have you. That there, I reckon though, this I reckon is off maybe an old spigot tap. Keg tap, sorry, which would have been obviously punched into a keg. How cool is that? Maybe the farmer's done a bit of a chop and grind. Maybe it did snap off and then he ground it down to having a square head so he could use his square tool. Because it does look rather crude there. Anyway, not matching, I don't believe, but how weird. The broken off tap handle there, and little spigot tap in this hole right beside it. That is awesome. Let's see what else we can grab. Well, I'm absolutely loving today. It's a beautiful, beautiful day, as I said at the start of this video. Not a cloud in the sky. The rest of the week's going to be like this too, which is really, really nice. We didn't just find another spigot tap. In actual fact, what I was talking about before, we just found, I said you cannot make this stuff up some days. I really, really like these too. I've found quite a few in the past, over the years detecting. And bingo, there is the farmer's tool that I was saying about turning that spigot tap on and off. So very, very, very cool to find all these things in succession, basically. I'll just put him on there properly. So the farmer would have carried that around in his pocket, that little spanner, little ring spanner if you like to call it. And as I said, he's only a one-ended square ring spanner. They're just so cool, I think. And he would have turned the tap on and off as he needed. So as I said, that other broken handle, I don't believe it was from this tap. I believe these two are a matching pair. But yeah, so cool. Once again, another nice high signal. Signals that you would not walk past. You know, this ground is so very, very trashy. But at the same time, if you pluck out the very, very best sounding repeatable signals, that's where you're going to have most of your success. What are you doing, mate? Talking to the cows, are you? Go away. Nosy buggers. What are you doing? You found a spot by the pole and under the wire. Whatever you do, don't touch that wire because you're going to know about it. Come on, buddy. Come this way. Come on. I think I can see the farmer coming too, the property owner. That's all right. We'll show him what we found. Haven't actually been out here for about a year either, so it's been a while. So I sent him a message through this morning. Hey mate, okay for me to do some more metal detecting out at such and such paddock, and I got a go for it with a thumbs up. So really, really cool. And you just never know, you know, making sure that the property owner still actually owns this land. So just shoot that message through or shoot a call through and make sure to let them know. So it's been about a year since I've been out here. So, and look at them, they know he's up there too, up on the hill in his motorbike. They're starting to baller out and moo for him. They're wanting to be fed, although if they look around, there's plenty of feed in the paddock here. They're going to leave us alone now too, which is nice. Come on, buddy, come over here. Let's see if we can get on to the next target. Right, well, I was just thinking to myself, all these cool items coming out. Why have I not found a coin just yet? You know, I know there was occupation here. I know there was a house site here. I've seen it on the picture. And coming out here, seeing the bricks, the glass, and the few pieces that we've found, it all confirms it, doesn't it? Well, bingo, there's our first coin. A full penny. How magnificent is that? So 82.83 on the Equinox 900. Magnificent, our first coin. Let's see if we can turn that into a silver. Well, that is interesting. I always love catching up and talking to different people, and the bloke that just drove through that gate was the landowner's son. He drove through checking stock, checking feed troughs, checking water troughs, and what have you, and then come back through up towards me and said g'day, and he said, how you going, mate? What are you up to? I said, I'm just doing a bit of metal detecting. He goes, you've been speaking to Dad, have you? And I said, yeah, I have, mate. I actually, in fact, used to work with your uncle, your dad's brother, and it's led me onto this property, you know, many years ago. I just never met this young bloke Anthony before, the owner's son, and said g'day to him, and I was talking to him for a while, explaining who I was, what I do, and what I find and what I've found today, showing him the penny, showing him the keg tap, showing him the Automobile Association Club of Victoria badge, really cool, and also showed him this horseshoe that I just picked up off the track. Anthony there explained a little bit of information about this paddock though there to me, and I said to him, I'm over here because I suspect there's an old house site here, and he said basically there used to be made or something, house or shed or dairy, not really sure. You are going to eat my fingers, aren't you? Anyway, he said what actually used to happen from the township there, he said you would have probably seen bricks walking through the paddock. Are you right? And which I did, which I showed you guys, the bricks up over on the hill there as we walked through under the fence. Anyway, basically he said they had a little drainage way and a little carriageway running all the way down to where I'm standing now. And they used to come out and grab loads of gravel, hence why this area here is all dug out. And he said up on the top of the hill here, it was foundations, there was like a heap of brickwork and glass and tin and rocks and you name it, it was along here. And he actually said they not recently, or not long ago I should say, about a year ago or more, they actually dug it all out. They took all the top surface off because they crop and harvest this paddock, what have you, every year. So they wanted to be clean and to rake and tedder and seed, what have you. And they took all the top off of this paddock, about 6 inches, and in actual fact, they dumped it just down there. My finger's all wet now from that cow. They dumped it all down there below the tree line, and we're going to go over and have a bit of a look at that. He did say watch out for snakes, because he said that when they basically removed all this stuff, all the foundations and what have you, tin and the mess that were here, he said that there was snakes galore and they all skittled out everywhere. So we are in snake country. We will be very careful today, especially a nice sunny day like today. It could bring them out. But as he said, if you're really chasing probably the rest of the stuff that got dug out of here, go check out that pit over there. I don't know what it's got in it, bricks and bottles, hopefully intact. So we're going to do that quickly. And he also said the carriageway that used to run down through here to access the old house site or sheds or dairy, whatever it was here, and dig out the gravel right there. In actual fact, the carriageway used to continue on down that laneway, and in this, not next paddock, but the one further past, so not that first fence line, but the next paddock along, just in front of that shed there somewhere, used to be an old slaughterhouse, like an old abattoir for the town, where they used to slaughter all the animals and provide meat for the town. And they were generally kept away from the town due to the smell and what have you, the flies. So he said, I can't really tell you exactly where it was over there, but it was somewhere in that next second paddock. I said to him, I probably won't get there today, mate, but I'd love to check it out in future. What do you reckon, buddy? Another adventure yet to come? And there could be cow tags over there. Like I was just thinking, as soon as he said slaughterhouse, a lot of the animals they would have been probably, butchering would have been cows. And a lot of times back in the day, the cows would wear the cow tags around the neck with a bit of wire. The butcher, get out of that. The butcher would, the cows would get sent to the butcher. And a lot of the time the butcher would just come along and clip the tags off the neck in the yard and let them fall into the ground. So my way of thinking would be there could be a lot of cow tags over there, like a ton. We'll just go check that out another day though. And Anthony said there is a few bricks, what have you, over there to indicate the old foundations of the old abattoirs there. So exciting. Who's excited? Are you excited? Are you excited? How about you? All right, buddy, what did I say I wanted today? Silver coin, it would be nice. It's not a coin, but we've got something silver by the looks. Careful. Look at that pretty piece. Isn't that stunning? I dare say that is silver too. Maybe just silver plated. But it's still silver. That's really, really cool. Very special piece. Buddy, have a look at this. Oh yeah, he says. Don't really care. You got no appreciation for history, buddy. Very, very nice piece. I don't have a toothbrush on me, so I'm not going to go too hard cleaning it out. Just looks like an ornate decorative brooch maybe, but nothing on the back, no pins, nothing to hold it or fasten it. But a lovely design. I like it a lot. And that one rang up, really high sounding target. Well, it sounded higher in the ground. What is that? 66. 70. So there you go. A little bit different in the ground, a little bit higher signal. Stunning piece though. I only wonder if it is pure silver. I don't know that it will be. I think it's just going to be silver plated. But it's silver nonetheless. How awesome. Let's keep going. Right, well, Buddy and I have continued on digging. He's exhausted, as you can see. You've had a big morning, haven't you? And look, the last hole was right under his head. He's using it for a pillow. We've covered all this ground here though, back and forth, back and forth. I'm really running over the same ground now, and yes, it's so trashy I can still pluck out some signals and targets, but a lot of it being rubbish like that last one was there. So what we're going to do is we're just going to have a bit of a break. It is 12:15. We've been out here for at least 2 hours now. Don't chew on my detector. And as I said, Buddy's exhausted, but he's going to be even more exhausted because we're going to go for a walk down and check out that old rubbish pit where Anthony said that he was just dumping everything that got cleaned up from this site. You're loving that sun, aren't you? And you're loving the tickles. I'm not loving the flies though. They're very friendly. So let's put the detector to the side for a minute. We will actually take it with us, but just put it to the side for a minute. Get rid of the pouch and the jumper because they're weighing me down, and we're going to get off down to that laneway there and have a look what's down there. Right, I'm just going to sit my gear there for a second. We are going to go back through that gateway just there behind us because, I don't know whether you can see it from here, see that pile of rubbish? That's what we're aiming for. That's what everything was picked up from the paddock beside me that we've been hunting. Just bulldozed off the top and taken down to there and dumped. So that's where the snakes are going to be. We're going to be very careful. Just before we go over though, I'm sure Buddy would like a drink. One thing about Cocker Spaniels too, they absolutely love water. We had Cocker Spaniels growing up as kids. They were golden Cocker Spaniels. Oh look, there's a little caterpillar. They were golden Cocker Spaniels, but we had a couple of dams, and every time we'd go anywhere near the dam, my brothers and sisters and I, they would jump in the dams straight away. You're right, mate. I got you. Have a drink. He's like wanting to hop in, but he's not. What are you doing? You going to drink? Kind of. He just thinks he can walk along there. Do you want to hop in? Tania will kill me. She'll say, why does Buddy stink so much? Good boy. That's it. Bit of cow water won't hurt you. Beautiful day. Spectacular. As Anthony said, just be careful of snakes, mate, because on a day like today, you just never know. Especially out here, this is absolutely snake country. Renowned for them. Is that good? Should I have some? Oh. You're like, you want the water, but you're a bit unsure, aren't you? He thinks he can step on the water. You can't walk on water, buddy. Alright, that'll do you. Oh, look how far Mr. Caterpillar got in that time. He was way back there. Alright, keep you nice and hydrated. And as I said, the slaughterhouse, abattoirs, supplying the town with meat. Wouldn't have been in this paddock that we're standing, but it would have been in the next paddock. You can see past those fence posts. And Anthony did say to me, the person they purchased the land off said there was like a telegraph pole or something like telecom pole there, not far away. So bit of something for me to look for in future. We're not going to do it today. And I'm just noticing on the other trough over there, check out the ducks. If I can hold still. How cool is that? If Buddy's seen those, he'd have a field day. Come on, mate. Let's go back this way and let's grab our gear. As I said, we're heading over to the pile of rubbish. Well, as I said, our life has changed a lot dramatically in the last 6 months, and all for the better. You know, sometimes these things happen and you don't think it's for the better at the start. But then, you know, after time, you know, hindsight looking back, after time you realise that, geez, life's done me a favour. Well, life did do me a favour, a big favour. And it's allowed me to rebuild my life once again. And I could not be happier. Really, like I really mean that, could not be happier. I've come a long, long way in 6 months, and that's a big part of that is to Neil, my new partner. Just amazing, absolutely amazing. Let's go into here, buddy, because I want to go open another gate. We are really going to be careful of snakes here too. Oh, don't rip the shirt. Oh, geez, look, easy for you, mate. You just walk straight under. I'm going to pick Buddy up over here too. Like, I just want to scout around with my eyes first. But I am going to pick him up because, yeah, look, a bit worried about snakes. And one thing for me to get bitten, but I don't want him getting bitten. I don't want to get bitten either, but... Old mattress. Old bit of pipe. There's a snake. I mean, what? Look at it all. So yeah, this is what's been taken off the top. What do you do with this though? Like, you can't really detect it. I mean, you could a little bit. But God knows what's buried in the pile of stuff. You right, mate? And cement sheeting. Some thick glass there. All pretty cool stuff, eh, buddy? Might not have to pick him up if we're just sort of scouting around carefully. We'll just watch ourselves. Old tyres and rocks are a good normal hiding spot for snakes. Stay away! Yeah, I can see some cool stuff. It's a float valve, or float ball, off a water trough. The yellow one, normally they're black. Don't normally see them yellow. But this is what Anthony was sort of speaking about, you know, a lot of bricks and rocks and a bit of glass, what have you. Some pretty new bricks there with 3 holes in them. A lot of what I'm seeing is quite modern here, but a lot of what I've found this morning has been quite old. Go figure. Let's go up here, buddy. See some more cool stuff. McCafe coffee lid. That's probably 1800s. Old foundations. You can see the square imprint there where something would have been sitting on top. Come this way, mate. Oh, you're a rogue. Come here. Come here, because I can see where I'm walking, but I can't see where you're walking. Are you okay? You're panting rather heavy there. Look at it all. This is where I don't want you running around, buddy. Buddy. So that looks like an old pipe off an old dairy. Stainless steel. Generally don't put stainless steel down unless it's in a dairy. A lot of dairies too, when they're salvaged, you know, when they're no longer in use. I know one dairy in particular I helped rip down when I was on my apprenticeship. It was an old 25 rotary dairy, but you stood inside. It was a really old rotary dairy. Instead of standing outside the rotary dairy, the roundabout dairy, otherwise known as a rotary dairy, you would stand inside it and milk the cows from the inside. And there'd be someone shifting the cows into the dairy from the outside. Yeah, this is snake paradise. What do you reckon? Love me a snake or two. Can't see any bottles either, which is a shame. Like if there was a fair bit of broken glass or something that's going on, as I was saying before Buddy hit stop on the camera with his nose, I'd be looking around further. But this is all just rubbish. And it's very sketchy ground to walk in. Don't have any gaiters on either. Yeah, okay. A lot of stuff. Just trying to make out what it all is. It looked like the front of a car there. Front frame of a car. A lot of copper piping. There's a railway sleeper there. And as he said, he had the track coming from the township, which is in front of us right now. And the track from the township would lead all the way down to their paddocks here. They get the gravel out of the gravel pit there. Probably for local roads, it's like a red scoria type gravel. So for local roads, they'd get the scoria from that pitted out section where we were just hunting before. And then they continue on, the track would continue on. I know you want down, don't you? Panting like a wild man, you're not even doing any work. The track would continue on down into this next paddock, the one right in front of us right now. And that's where the abattoirs were. Interesting. Very dodgy walking around here though. Very dangerous. Heap of bricks over the back here, I'm just having a look at before we walk away. Look at these big blocks. Big stones, huge. The concrete's one thing, it was poured, but I mean these stones, they, shaped and then lifted into place. It would have took a couple of men, couple of horses to lift some of these stones into place. Look at that. It's probably 300-400 kilo right there, just one of those stones. Selkirk bricks, that's all I can see. No other type. So yeah, I don't really know what to date this house site. Like how old is it? I don't know. What was it properly used for? Not sure. But we'll continue on detecting, I think. There's a good little break. Have not spotted any glass. Where are all the bottles? Good little break though. And we'll get back into it now. We'll go over and grab that detector. Look at the vinyl. Just looking. Feng shui. It's pretty cool. Maybe the house is like old, but then it had a bit of updated work done. But that vinyl looks like 70s, 60s to me. Interesting. Alright, not enough for me to continue walking around and filming and wasting my time on anyway. Just a whole heap of stuff. Let's go get more. Well, we've walked a long way today, haven't we, buddy? Hey? Especially you with your little legs. We went all the way down to check out the concrete piles and brick piles of rubbish, which is all the way down that laneway back there behind us. Then we went for a walk all the way over to that shed, the very, very far shed that you can see right over the back there. I went all the way walking over to that shed, trying to hit on a telecom pole or telegraph pole, maybe sticking up out of the ground, or look, I don't really know, just something, just looking for any indication of bricks or foundations to indicate where the old abattoirs were that Anthony was telling us about. No luck thus far. That's okay. The next target though we've just walked back over this water tank, just basically sit in the shade and have a break. I got a real high 68, jumping up to through to about a 90 range, and look at that, we've got a $1 coin. That's quite unexpected. Obviously the farmer's dropped this one, 1984. He's slightly older than me. Obviously been dropped by the farmer though. I don't think it would have been from the house that sat here just off to the left of me. And that's it. That was our target, and you were almost sitting right on it, weren't you? Hey? You are tied. Look at you. You could fall asleep just with pats. He was laying pretty much right about there. And I swung the cord beside his head and he nearly jumped up and moved, and you didn't really have to, did you? As soon as I stuck the shovel in though, he jumped out of the way. Absolutely beautiful dogs, Cocker Spaniels. I really, really like them. When Neil and I discussed about getting a dog, and we discussed a few different breeds, what have you, but she'd never actually seen or had any experiences with Cocker Spaniels, or really many dogs in general. But I just said, growing up with them, they were the most loveliest dogs, like beautiful natured dogs, follow you anywhere, most loyal dogs out, really, and just such a good temperament about them. So we went and picked up Buddy. He had there was a litter of 8. So he had a couple of sisters and a couple of brothers, or a few brothers, and he sort of picked us. He would not leave us. The whole time we were there, he was at our feet, whilst the other ones walked off and sort of played and chewed on things, and sort of picked us, and that's generally the way it goes when you're going to pick up a pup. You don't pick them, they pick you. So beautiful. All right, let's keep going before you fall asleep. I think you are asleep. Wake up. Run, buddy, run, buddy, run. What you doing? You're not out of energy yet, are you? He's running back and forth over the fence line there for some reason. Just playing. The next signal too, high signal. And funnily enough, I've got something down my shirt. Bugs or something. It's all these like bugs, I can't see them now. They're over there near the fence post. There's all these bugs like flying around in the air, in groups, in swarms there are. I think I just walked through a few. This looks, maybe silver. I was going to say alloy. Rang up very, very high. Maybe silver though. I dare say it is alloy. Little thimble, sewing thimble. So good indication there was a house site here. Not only that, out of this hole, I started seeing flecks of glass. And you wouldn't believe it, out of 550 odd videos that I've done. Oops, what was that, a brick? Thought I kicked Buddy then. Out of 500 odd videos that I've done, I've never ever had a dog out with me, or my own dog with me. I used to have a dog prior. His name was Bruiser. He was quite a big dog, an American bulldog, and he was a big dog, put it that way. But I never took him out with me in fear that he'd chase cows or sheep or disrupt, some of these properties that I go on to. You can't afford to have that. He's found my jumper, he has. But today, having a little dog out with me in my first video, or a first video with a dog. Is that a dog's tail? Is that an old dog little statue? Little porcelain statue I've just found? I think it is. He's got his tail up. Buddy's got his tail up. Hey, Buddy. Buddy. Oi, check this out. He does not care. Yeah, it's pretty cool, isn't it? That's what I thought. So yeah, I think that's part of little dog. First day, I got my new dog out with me. How cool's that? And there's another piece there too. I don't know what he does, where he goes. I don't know. And look, if we kept digging, we might find a little bit more. We're still finding parts of the old house too. Bricks and bits of cement sheeting and thimbles. How awesome. Rightio, well that is about it for us today there guys, for now anyway. We will be back again. We've just laid out all the finds there on the jumper, on the back of the jumper, and I must admit, for a very, very trashy site, we've done extremely well. We've only got the one coin per se, but look, off the coin side of things, compared to the relic side of things, I think we've done exceptional. So we've got the horseshoe, we've got the hood ornament, which is a really special piece. We've got what I think is part of an old matchbox cover. You would have struck the match through the side there. And a lot of times the old matchbox covers, they get wet, what have you, and get damaged, so they put a matchbox cover on them. I've actually got one at home with a nice ornate little stone on the front. We've got part of a little screw-in knobby thing. We've got a broken off piece, maybe an old bell. It's probably not tapering out enough for it to be an old bell, but just a bit of a guess there. Bit of pipe, part of the door handle internal mechanism plate, another piece of what looks like to be off a cupboard or a door handle, the clock fob watch backing plate, so that's 6 times, and you might get it wrong. The old lighter, which is really cool. The old, what I suspect is a keg tap handle, one of the ones that you'd bash into the front of the kegs. They'd have a bit of a nose on the front where you could hammer them into the kegs. I'll just have to do some research on that one though. He might just be a spigot tap handle, but just the weight, the size, the thickness and the feel. The design, it seems to me like it's an old keg tap handle. The old spigot tap with the old spigot tap handle, which is really, really cool. I had him working perfect there before. There we go, the other way. But to turn him on and off, the farmer would have carried this little sprocket tool around with him. We've got part of the old tap handle, brass piece, the old decorative piece, which come out first, which gave us that indication that we're onto something good. A couple of buckles, a little Buddy's porcelain little dog statue, I think it is. And as I said, the little sewing thimble, the old penny, full penny, the Australia badge, which I think is just a ripper piece, absolutely beautiful, old enamel badge, and lasts in the ground pretty well. $1 coin, and of course the silver plated, what I think is going to be a lady's belt buckle plate. Very, very nice piece, and it'll clean up very nice too. And that is just our rubbish. Really, really not much at all. I think we've done exceptional today. So really, really good day. There's a couple of other pieces at the top here too. This one here, I have no idea what it's off. It's got no markings on the base. Surely it's not an old cartridge shell. I don't think it is. It may have been something regarding the house or the dairy. I'm not quite sure. And Buddy's had enough for today. He's dug himself a hole in the dirt behind me. He's exhausted. He's laying there in the cool dirt under the cool shade of the tree. And this has probably been his biggest day out, apart from the day where we got him. And we actually went camping for a couple of days when we first picked him up. But as you can see, he is exhausted, and if he wasn't asleep before, well, he will be now. Put his ear over his eye there. Anyway, had a really, really great day, and it's sort of good too. I wanted to get out on the gold just recently, but with the cost of fuel prices and how far away it is for me to do that, look, it's a good $100 or more a day. Without finding any gold. There's nearly $100 or more in expenses just with fuel and food and what have you, wear and tear on the vehicle. And I would like to take Buddy out and get him on the gold, but not at this stage, not while he's a puppy. So to come out and visit sites like this, 10-15 minutes away from home, pick up on a few relics, shoot a video, it's been a fantastic day, and get Buddy, or give Buddy a bit of a feel of what we do. That being the detecting, because he's going to come out on a lot of adventures in future. So anyway guys, I really hope you've enjoyed. We're not far away from the car, just back there in front of my finger. We'll pack up all our finds and get out of here, and the next time we're here, I'm sure we're going to find more. And not only that, over near that hay shed over the back there, we're going to pick up on where that old abattoirs used to be. So anyway, really hope you've enjoyed. Let's pack up. As I said, this is my favourite piece too, just amazing. Let's pack them all up though, and let's get out of here. We'll see you on the next.